Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopiya Anavalava Girivaradhari Jai Gopiya Anavalava Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraya Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraya Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Jaya Gurudeva, 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 Jaya Gurudeva. Jai Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Grantara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, thank you so much for being here today. So we will continue with our studies of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. For today, the text is Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 19, Text 29. Actually, it's the last verse for this chapter. So we will conclude the pastime of Jayati Maharaj, who achieved a supreme goal, achieved liberation. And so this is a verse that he thinks that the Vayani, the Jayati Maharaj's wife, after receiving some instructions and attaining also the same stage of consciousness of her husband, she offered these prayers. So it's a beautiful prayer. So perhaps we can try to imbibe a little bit the mood of the person who is reciting this prayer. So maybe eventually also we can develop the same mood and feel with feelings the benefit of reciting these prayers. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naran Chaiva Narotaman Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Yaya Nudirajet Nasta Prayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhavata Sevayam Bhagavati Uttamai Sloke Bhaktir Bhavaiti Naistikim. Okay, so Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 19, Text 29. Namaste Tuvyas Bhagavate Vasudevaya, perdón, Vasudevaya Vedase Sarva Bhutadivasaya Santaya Brihate Namaha. Namaste Tuvyam Bhagavate Vasudevaya Vedase Sarva Bhutadivasaya Santaya Brihate Namaha. Namaste Tuvyam Bhagavate Vasudevaya Vedase Sarva Bhutadivasaya Santaya Brihate Namaha. Somebody else would like to repeat the verse, please? Namaste Tuvyam Bhagavate Vasudevaya Vedase Sarvabhutadivasaya Santaya Vrihate Namaha. Namastuyam 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 Bhagavate Vasudevaya Vedase Sarvabhutadivasaya Santaya Vrihate Namaha. Thank you. So now is the translation word by word. If you can repeat, please. Nama. I offer my respectful obeisances to Vyam and to you, Bhagavate, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudevaya, Lord Vasudev, Vedase, the Creator of everything, Sarvabhuta Adivasaya, present everywhere within the heart of every living entity and within the atom also. Santaya, peaceful, as if completely inactive. Brihate, greatest of all. Namaha, I offer my respectful obeisances. Translation. O Lord Vasudev, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, you are the creator of the entire cosmic manifestation. You live as the super soul in everyone's heart and are smaller than the smallest. You are the greater than the greatest, and you are all-pervading. You appear completely silent, having nothing to do, but this is due to your all-pervading nature and your fullness in all opulences. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances to you. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. How Devayani became self-realized by the grace of her great husband, Maharaj Jayati, is described here. Describing such realization is another way of performing the bhakti process. Sravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyan Atma Nivedanam. Hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of the Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming His servant, considering the Lord one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto Him. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. Bhagavatam 7.523. Sravana, Kirtanan, hearing and chanting are especially important. By hearing from her husband about the greatness of Lord Vasudeva, Devayani certainly became convinced and surrendered herself unto the lotus feet of the Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is knowledge. Bahunam Janmana Ante Janavam Mam Prapadyante. Surrender to Vasudeva is the result of hearing about him for many, many births. As soon as one surrenders unto Vasudeva, one is liberated immediately. Because of her association with her great husband, Maharaj Yayati, Devayani became purified, adopted the means of bhakti yoga, and thus became liberated. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 9th canto, 19th chapter of the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, entitled King Yayati Achieved Liberation. Anangyana Mirandaya Gyanam Gyana Shalakaya Chakshurulamitanjena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Mukhaṁ karoti vatsalam Phangum langayate girim Jat kripata maham vande Sri Guru Dinatarinam Brahmananda Vardhanam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Śrīmate Shri Hanuma Prasak Swami iti namine. Vanchakalpataruyascha kripa sindhuyaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vas Adi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, so as concluding this chapter, and many times for many days, we have heard about the pastime of Jayati Maharaj, and this is the conclusive part. I thought it would be interesting if we can revise a little bit this process, because for him, achieving the state of consciousness of liberated state, many things had happened. We heard about his qualities and previously how much he indulged in different ways of sense gratification. Overcome lust, he even tried to enjoy more by different means, taking even the youth of his son. But at the end, after thousands of years, he realized that again, no satisfaction can be achieved. The heart was insatisfied after many ways of sense gratification. So I think this principle is quite important for all of us to understand, because in different ways, all of us, we are looking for some enjoyment. And because the default way to do it in a conditional state, it's sense gratification. It's kind of, again, default tendency of all of us in a conditional state. So sense gratification is, even sometimes while we are engaged in Krishna consciousness in the process, due to our contaminated state of consciousness, even the performance of our attempt of devotional service is still with tinge of this tendency of enjoying. Even we use devotional service for our sense gratification. It's subtle, but it's that the tendency is there. So Jayati Maharaj, after 1,000 years or more, he realized that that is not the way to achieve real satisfaction. In that process of pursuing happiness through the senses, that is our, again, default tendency, the happiness that we can experience is very ephemeral. So doesn't satisfy. It's not enough for what we are looking for, what we are hankering for. So Jayati Maharaj got that realization and he tried to find something else. I was wondering what made him to change his approach. Because he said in one of the previous verses that when he realized that sense gratification is not the way to get a satisfaction to his heart, he got disappointed. He started worshiping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. While he was contemplating about his circumstance, he was engaged in devotional service, worshiping the Lord. So I was wondering what made him to take that approach. It doesn't say that Narada Muni came or another sage came and gave him the instructions, do this, do that. But previously we heard that Jayati Maharaj was very pious, very qualified king. He was performing previously devotional service. He knew it. It means previously he got the association of saintly people. So what happened is that after many disappointments in his heart, Krishna in the heart understands, because Krishna is in our heart. He knows what the needs of the living entity, and he makes different arrangements. I hope not many of us will have to pass through 1,000 years of attempting sense gratification to surrender like Jayati Maharaj. But we can learn the teaching, what is happening here, by understanding the sincere desire of the living entity. Krishna in the heart make all the arrangements. That was one of the purpose that one Prabhupada said in one, I think 2 days ago, purpose, that is, Prabhupada said that the Lord knows the sincere desire. It's enough for us to sincerely desire to serve the Lord, and the Lord will do all the arrangements. Actually, it's not us who, okay, we plan, we do, because our tendency is also to control. So not just enjoying, but also controlling, planning. But if we understand that, and we are open to that comprehension that it's the Lord actually who is organizing, controlling everything, and we surrender to that, Krishna, as our well-wisher, will do all the best for us. It's the only way how we can achieve happiness. So, coming back to Jayati Maharaj, he performed devotional service. He was engaged in worshiping the Lord. And because of being engaged in bhakti, the cleansing process of the heart, the tendency of gross sense gratification and subtle, eventually disappeared. The power of bhakti gave the opportunity to Jayati Maharaj to give up all his material desires and obtain the cleansing process in the heart. His heart became cleansed. And only in that way, when the heart is clean, we can say that it's the ideal place to practice real Krishna consciousness, real bhakti. When our heart is clean, it's fit for pure bhakti. Otherwise, it's not possible to practice pure devotional service while we are grossly and subtly engaged in sense gratification. So this point is very important. So it said here, well, part of my notes, that becoming pure, purification, it's the removal of ignorance, desire, and an identification with material things. So only in that way we can turn to our spiritual clarity, spiritual state of consciousness. So purification means getting rid of, giving up material desires, and also false identifications. Previously also, I think 2 days ago, Sri Chaitanya Prabhu gave us a nice presentation about the ignorance, how Maya, different ways of types of Maya, the process of false identification, how we are bound, conditioned, what that means to be conditioned. So purification as a synonym of liberation means be free from material desires, obtaining clarity about our identity, and then practically engaged in a loving devotional service to the Lord. So that if we understand this sequence, it's quite important. And it's what happened with the Vajani. So this verse today, and the purpose, explain clearly how the Vajani, by having the association of her husband, who achieved a higher state of consciousness, she also obtained the same state of consciousness by association. And we have heard many, many times, and Prabhupada all the time through his books, lectures, his teachings, clearly explained to us that the open secret for success in the spiritual life. What is the open secret? Do you know? Chanting? Association, yes. And here we see in this pastime today, the verse is clearly explaining about that open secret, association of advanced devotees. So then we can obtain the same benefit, the same state of consciousness. So, but the question is, what that means to associate with advanced devotees? What that means, association of devotees? That is also very important to understand, because we have the tendency to sometimes get confused with association as just sharing, doing things together, or socializing. But Prabhupada explained that association of devotees, it's very much based in hearing and serving. Because by associating with advanced devotees, so advanced devotee won't be happy to be engaged in just shallow talks or socializing with people. The need of us advanced devotees is for more Krishna Katha, for more devotional service. And if you want to associate with a person, with that advanced devotee, and obtain the benefit of that association, we need also to cultivate those qualities. How to cultivate those qualities? It's by hearing and serving. And that is revealed, that open secret is revealed by Krishna himself in Bhagavad Gita. Do you know where it's clearly described? How Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita? Tadvidi pranipatena, yes, that is the open secret. By inquiring, that means listening, hearing through devotees and inquiring about it. And not just inquiring, but serving. Serving devotees, advanced devotees, then we will be able not just receive knowledge, but they will reveal to us their spiritual realizations. Because it's not just getting knowledge as information, because we can read Bhagavatam, like me reading the computer, I have access to all the database. Do you think that will give me pure devotional service? By reading, like me, many people can read also online. It will give us pure devotional service, purify our consciousness. Not necessarily. The secret is that we need, yes, to read. When we read these books, for example, understanding that is the way how we will associate with Srila Prabhupada. The mood is that by reading this, I'll be hearing this pure devotee, Prabhupada, and then understanding his mood, his realizations. So it's important, the attitude. It's not just my capacity to read, okay, I'll take notes, I'll study. No, it's I'll approach with submissive attitude to hear from the advanced devotee, from the Acharya, and by taking that approach, that attitude, so he will be pleased and he will reveal the knowledge to us. And in a practical way also, offering devotional service that is pleasing to his heart. So this is another important point that we perhaps can explore a little bit. Because if we understand that the open secret for spiritual success is to hearing and serving the advanced devotees, so it means that by doing that we will please them and they will reveal the knowledge or spiritual realizations to us. For us, for example, serving Prabhupada or hearing from Prabhupada and serving him, pleasing him, it means we need to imbibe his mood, what is very dear to his heart. So I was listening a lecture, one devotee nicely explaining about this point, trying to please the spiritual master, trying to please Guru, because in this pastime of Jayati and Devajani, it said that Devajani is got the same benefit by associating with her husband, who became advanced devotee. And she got that click, that point of, okay, no more material engagements or material desire, trying to fulfill my material desires or relationships. She also got the opportunity to understand that, again, the surrendered part of serving to Krishna or approaching to God. So for us practicing devotees, well, we can see that many devotees in different circumstances, like Grihastra ashram or perhaps Brahmacharya ashram, whatever our ashram is, we need to understand, in this case, for example, it's explained that the spiritual master is like the husband and the disciple is like the wife. If we want to do this analogy. So in order for us to get the same benefit, like the Vajani receiving the benefit of association of her husband, for us receiving the benefit of our spiritual master or advanced devotees, we need also to hear from him, like the Vajani did, because it was so kind, like Jayati Maharaj, advanced devotee who tried to share his realization with the Vajani. And he didn't preach her like, okay, you have to give up all your desires, surrender to Krishna. He also, very compassionately, he designed a different technique, analogy. The story of the he god and the she god. So in order to give her like ways to, according her state of consciousness at that point, in order to help her, so he created that story. And she was able to understand, and after that, after hearing that story, she realized, oops, that is me, you know, what's happening, that is true. So Jayati Maharaj was giving or sharing his spiritual realizations in a compassionate way according her capacity. And because of doing that, she understood. And she was able to also be engaged in the same way, in devotional service to the Lord, surrendering to the Lord, and also these beautiful prayers that she's offering, and today text. So we can see how much is the importance of the value of devotees association, advanced devotees association. And Srila Prabhupada says, for example, that I created ISKCON, one of my notes is said, Prabhupada says, I created ISKCON temples to give people the opportunity to associate and hear about Krishna. So if we have no opportunity to hear about Krishna, if there is no opportunity to serve Vaishnavas, this place, temples, will be useless. The fact is, if there is no opportunities to serve Vaishnavas, the body is useless. Because by serving Vaishnavas, we can please them. By pleasing them, they can impart us or share with us their spiritual realizations. This is the open secret given by Krishna in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Also, there is a nice pastime, how the importance of proper hearing. I said that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj was conducting a parikrama, and thousands of disciples, they went to Vrindavan following Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, and they reached Koshi, I think, one temple where the Anantashesha deities were there. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj said, okay, you can go there, whoever want. They were all sitting there, and Maharaj said, whoever want, they can go and take darshan. I'll stay here and I'll give a class. So many of the devotees, not only of the disciples, they went to take darshan. Very few, they stayed there to listen the class. And among these very few was Srila Prabhupada, our Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj said, what they can see with their eyes. Krishna consciousness is to see through the ears. So that quite, to me, when I was listening to Bhakti, I said, wow, actually that makes sense. Because with our limited eyes, I need glasses even to see properly gross things. But if we can see, if we want to see higher dimension like spirituality, the only way is to hear from those who have seen those that spiritual realm, so they can talk about it. So it's revelation. So that is quite interesting, because it said that after 13 years after that pastime, Prabhupada approached, or Srila Prabhupada approached to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, for initiation. So some devotees say, oh, Abhay Babu would like to take initiation. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj said, I know that boy. No? He is very good with hearing. Because of that pastime that in Koshi, and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj noticed Srila Prabhupada, our Srila Prabhupada, and he appreciated that nice quality of our Srila Prabhupada. And we can see, because of that quality, of that nice, auspicious quality that our Prabhupada has, able to hear hear from advanced devotees quality, attentive hearing from his spiritual master, he's able to create a whole revolution in the world and giving us, sharing with us that opportunity. That reminds me one pastime that Burijan Prabhu mentioned. They were in Fiji, Srila Prabhupada and Burijan Prabhu. And Prabhupada said, Burijan, do you know what is what is the desire in the core of my heart? Do you know what is it? And Burijan Prabhu was a little bit he didn't know. And he said, please, Prabhupada, tell us what is. And Prabhupada said, I want each one of all the living entities in the entire universe to become Krishna consciousness. So it's our Prabhupada desire. And so we are talking about serving Vaishnavas, and by serving advanced devotees we can receive their spiritual blessings and revelation of their spiritual realizations. So now for us, that we know what is the desire of our Srila Prabhupada, our attempt to please him, to satisfy his desires. In that way, for example, our active participation in his missionary group, in his missionary movement, giving Krishna consciousness to others, there are different ways how we can implement that approach of trying to serve Srila Prabhupada in our movement. For example, in Krishna, here in the temple, we have different areas of opportunities, service opportunity departments, and devotees in the Pujari, in the kitchen, preaching, book distribution. So everybody has different ways how to be engaged in attending to please the devotee, advanced devotee, pure devotee, and obtain the benefit, the blessings. But he said that, I don't know if you experience, but many times due to that diversity, different devotees and different levels, many times we have some conflicts. So it is like the wheels, when we're trying to move things, in order to process the proper movement, we need some oil in the machine to rotate nicely and advance. And it said that that oil, to facilitate that movement of the wheel of the machine to advance, that oil, it's a loving exchange among devotees. Otherwise, because we have variety of devotees trying to serve in different ways, many conflicts among devotees, lose energy, even confuse our mind, or we lose enthusiasm, whatever, many conflicts, many challenges. But how we can overcome that, it's by loving, caring attitude towards Vaishnavas, helping each other, serving devotees, or serving Prabhupada. Because we are talking about hearing and serving Vaishnavas as the open secret for spiritual success. Probably you heard this pastime or this story. It said that, it's what's happening currently also. There are many churches, temples, different places in other countries, different religions, temples. Many people, they stop going to the temples, to the churches, and many times there are empty churches. And I remember also in Vrindavan last time when we were there, when we were doing parikrama, it was arti time, and one temple, they were having a machine to do the kirtan, while one priest, one pujari was doing puja. So the machine was doing the kirtan, not devotees. No. So one machine was doing the recording there, the kirtan, and the machine was trying to project the sound of the kirtan, because not many devotees, actually few, almost none were there to do the kirtan and glorifying the Lord while the arti was going on. So many temples empty. People, they lose enthusiasm to go. So there is one story about the concern of some priest in one temple. Only five monks were there. Not many people were coming. So they didn't know what to do. So they went to see a pure devotee, an advanced devotee, to please guide us what we have to do, what we should do. So one of them, the five monks went to us, and this advanced devotee said, well, actually, yeah, this is a problem that is happening, so I don't know what to do, what we can do, because this is happening constantly everywhere. But one thing I know, he said, among of you, these five of you, one of you is one incarnation, one avatar. So, and that monk asked him, who is it? Who is it? I don't know who it is exactly, but I know among you, one of you is the avatar. Oh, so that monk went back to the temple when the other monks were waiting, and they asked him what this sage said, what the guru said. He said, yeah, well, actually, he also said that there are problems like that everywhere. But he said something interesting. He said, among of us, one of us is one avatar. So then everybody was thinking, oh, well, actually I'm not, but maybe that devotee in the kitchen, because he serves so nicely, he's trying all the time, maybe he's an avatar. Oh, no, maybe perhaps the other devotee, he's constantly coming Mangalarti, doing his puja, and he's very good serving devotees. Or maybe it's that devotee. So they start appreciating different qualities among themselves. So because they got that in mind, they try each time they try each other to serve among themselves nicely, with care. Maybe it's the avatar. So I don't want to commit offenses. Let's try to do it nicely. And so such was the mood that out of care and respect, loving service, trying to please, that the whole environment was full of love, and people who were coming, they were appreciating that. They felt attracted to that mood, that they also wanted to be part of that. So many people started joining because they wanted to experience, to be active in that mood. And somehow or another, my personal experience is that I've been visiting, I was in different temples in my experience in Krishna consciousness. I was living in different temples. But one of the things that attracted me the most to stay in Melbourne is because I was able, with my limited eyes, I was able to perceive the loving exchange, the service attitude of devotees in our community has. Those devotees, beautiful, it's very attractive. And also, recently I got an opportunity to move to another temple. But the thinking that we will lose the opportunity to associate with this community, very sincere, there are many sincere devotees. I thought, no, I cannot lose this. So, with the mercy of devotees, I'm still trying to be part of these loving exchanges in this community of Vaishnavas here in Melbourne, trying to develop. The idea would be that if we can grow more on that, as this open secret, developing that mood, service mood among devotees, that we can create not just benefit for us, for ourselves, that also pleasing Vaishnavas and attracting more people. definitely there are many challenges in our community. Differences of opinions can be confusing. But our Srila Prabhupada, there is another pastime, beautiful pastime, related also to Jayati Maharaj. He wanted to exchange his youth, his old age by the youth of his son. When in 1997, when Prabhupada was very much ill, his body was very ill and about to depart, one of his disciples, young devotee, he approached to Srila Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, I read in Bhagavatam that we can exchange the youth. Please take, I'm happy, please take my youth and you keep living and keep preaching so I can take the old age. That the disciple, young disciple, offered that to Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada smiled at him and I said, well, I thank you, I respect your sentiment, but that is not what I want. No. I wished your love, and Prabhupada at that time said, your love to me will be demonstrated, will be proved when you endeavor to work together, to cooperate together. Your love for me will be shown in that way, by cooperating each other and to maintain this movement, spreading Krishna consciousness. So that is the very important instruction. Also, the heart of the Acharya, the heart desire, the desire of the pure devotee for us, our spiritual master, how we can contribute in cooperating each other to maintain this mission and this preaching missionary movement for his pleasure and obtain his blessings, obtain spiritual realization and success in our spiritual life. So I think time is running out now. Yeah, but perhaps any comments, any questions at this point? Yes, Sivya Mataji. Thank you for your time. Oh. Slippery. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, Sivya.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you for the nice class. Mataji, you were talking about our material desires. So I wanted to ask, just by doing austerities other than bhakti, can our material desires be removed? Because we see in the case of Dhruva Maharaj, I think, was it the austerities that helped him get rid of his material desires, or was it the darshan of the Supreme Lord?
That is a beautiful question, Sivya. I also was analyzing a bit more, because that tendency is there, not just by the power of austerity. Actually, it helps, but doesn't remove the seed, the root of the material desires in the heart. And why Bhakti Yoga is glorified at the topmost process for liberation is because it gives you the opportunity to eradicate all those roots, all the seeds of material desires from the heart, but from the root. It's not just the seed, the whole root is eradicated from our heart by being engaged in devotional service. And if your austerity, for example, we learn in Krishna consciousness that practicing the austerities, it's important. But what are those austerities in Krishna consciousness? Eating Krishna prasadam, for example, rather than eating whatever thing that whatever sometimes the mind or the tongue wants. It's eating Krishna prasad. That is one of the joyful austerity, we can say, yeah? Or, for example, getting early in the morning for glorifying the Lord. At this point, I don't think that is an austerity for you. It's being in a party, yeah? Why we mention this is because Krishna consciousness it's very joyful to practice. For many people outside can be seen as austere. Wow, a lot of austerities. But because it's natural, it's a natural activity of, I would say, it's the natural activity of the soul being engaged in devotional service that is so pleasing when our heart is clean. So, how, when you say the material desires are removed, it's just by being engaged in Krishna consciousness. It's a natural constitutional position of the soul. And it's not just joyful, but it also guarantees eventually all the material desires will be removed from the root. Okay? It's not enough the so-called austerity. But what are the austerities? We have to think about it. Yeah? Chanting the holy names of the Lord in the beginning is an austerity. It's the yajna, the sacrifice for this age. But once you develop, you awaken the taste for that, because the taste is already in us. So we awaken that taste. It's not anymore austerity, it's a pleasure. Yes? Okay. Thank you, Sylvia. Anything else? Okay, thank you so much for kind attention. Granted us Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki, Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Bo. Vanchakalpatarvyacha kripa sindhuvyacha adhitanam pavanavya vaishnavya namo namaha.
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavanstam Shri Rupam Chakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Shadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय।